guys, welcome to Thoughtful Thursday. So today I'm going to give you guys 15 facts about myself and let you get to know me a little bit better. The first thing that I want you guys to know is that I love to bake. I guess I started to love baking because of, well, cookies are delicious and I can't get them anytime I want, so why not bake my own? I started baking a couple years ago. Jay bought me a cookbook and I found a couple of recipes that I wanted to try, and I tried them and I just started to find my love for baking. I will bake cakes, cookies, and lots of other things. I actually made my wedding cake for my wedding. Turned out pretty good. My two bridesmaids, my best friends Courtney and Caitlin, actually finished it off right before the wedding. Crazy, huh? I will insert a picture of my cake right here. So doing this leads me to my next thing about myself, which is I can't bend my wrist back very far. So the normal wrist should usually go about 90 degrees. Mine does not. Mine goes about, I don't even know. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Also leads me into my next little get to know me, which is I was a gymnast for pretty much my whole life. Mom said when I was little, I was a little monkey. I would climb everything and get to whatever I want to. She decided when I was 5 years old, I think it was about 5, I can't remember, but probably 5, to enroll me in gymnastics class, and I loved it. I wasn't the best at taking turns because I wanted to keep on going and going and going. My mom can tell you that. I did not like to take turns just because, heck, I wanted to keep tumbling and tumbling and tumbling. I did not want to wait for people in line, and so my mom had to take me out until I was a little bit older. And then once I got older and learned that taking turns is something that you have to do, then eventually I did it, of course, because every person learns that eventually. Well, I'd hope people would learn that. But anyways, I had started off doing just tumbling and tramp, which is called TNT, and I did that for quite a few years. And then once I got to the age, I think I was between the ages of 8 and 11 is when I started doing competitive gymnastics. And I competed with a coach that I didn't really like that well. I'm not going to name names just because it's not worth it, but he just wasn't the best coach. I had a couple of coaches that were really good, but this particular coach, he just was not the nicest of people. I love doing gymnastics, but it just wasn't very fun having a coach that just wasn't the greatest and just wasn't present. He was always on his phone or sitting on his bum, and he would only coach the star athletes, which, I mean, anybody can get super good with a little bit of practice and from help from a good coach if you're just present. But this person he wasn't. And so eventually he lost pretty much all the girls on my team, and that business is now closed because he was a horrible coach, with a lot of other things and a lot of other reasons of why that ended so badly for him. But anyways, I then went back to tumbling and tramp, and I went to this awesome coach. He was wonderful. He showed me that I actually am a somebody and I actually can get first places instead of like the last place or just like getting a ribbon that says thanks for trying, pretty much. Got first and seconds, but mainly first on everything just because of he was just that wonderful. I mean, I would love to go back to him and love to take classes again from him because he was just such a wonderful person to train with. It makes me a little teary-eyed talking about it just because I do miss tumbling so much and I wish I could get back to it. I don't know if my body would let me just because, I mean, I just have a baby, but you never know. I probably could. Next thing you might want to know about me is that I've said this in my very first video. I love to sing. I have loved singing since very, very young age. I actually wanted to, at one point, try out for American Idol. I didn't because I have really bad stage fright. I do not like singing in public. I actually just very recently started to sing in front of like other people besides like really close family. I don't have the confidence that I would like in my singing, and I'm afraid of criticism, and I don't want that criticism yet. I know that I do have a good voice, at least I would like to think I do. I've been told by people in my life that I am a good singer and that I should start singing more and do singing covers, but it's a little scary. I have a few videos that I have recorded already that are of me singing. I don't like them. I've listened to them and I don't like them. And so, long story short, I am not going to post a video of me singing quite yet until I like the video of me singing and I think that it's my best. So you'll have to wait for a singing cover until a bit later. Just keep waiting for that, or I may not even post one just because it's really scary for me. But anyways, on to the next thing. So I am actually only 5'1", which, I mean, or 5'2" on a good day, I would like to say. I don't know if it was from just genetics that I'm short, or if my height got stunted through gymnastics, which I think it's mostly genetic related, but I mean, it did help in gymnastics, being able to be short and to tumble, being closer to the ground. And I mean, you can get into small places, so I guess I don't really mind being short. The only thing that I don't like about being short is I could never be a model, which I don't think I ever would be, but that would be one thing that height would be a good thing for. Next thing to get to know me with is only a cheerleader in high school for my senior year. I did try out my senior year, but I didn't make the team just for some reasons, I'm sure. Plus I'm even surprised I made it my senior year because I didn't have very much confidence in myself back in high school with cheering and stuff, and so that's probably why I didn't make it my junior year. But my senior year I did make it. It was a big learning experience, I would say. It was a rough year. It was mainly just the tumbler, just because that's pretty much probably how I made the team, is because I was a good tumbler. Chris did give me a lot of trouble when I was tumbling in high school, but I mean, I still did what I could. I did try flying, which I loved, but my coach, I had a bunch of crappy coaches in my life. I will say that. I had a crappy cheer coach, and I had one really crappy gymnastics coach, like I had said. My cheer coach, she actually left right before districts, which wasn't the best. It was kind of a bummer for all of us because, like, oh, you don't think we're that great. And I'm sure a lot of the girls had lost confidence in themselves. She did favorite a lot of people. It was very obvious when she did do that. And it was a bummer because she would talk badly about other people to the other cheer girls, and so it brought the morale down, the whole cheer team. And it was really sad. I mean, it was a good learning experience. Senior year was just really hard for me all around. I had a toxic boyfriend, and my grades suffered a lot. and my papa died that same year. And so, oh, and also my parents got divorced. So it was like one thing after the other, and it was just crap. I mean, we all go through that. It's trials that we go through, and it just changes us as a person. It can either make you or break you. It did break me a few times. I did hit rock bottom, I would say, but we're good. No worries there. We are good. I have an amazing husband now. Everything's golden. So there's a couple of things that I'm really afraid of, other than singing in public. The first thing is this is silly. I'm afraid of the dark still. I'm sure there's other people out there that are still afraid of the dark like I am. I can't sleep without like a little bit of light in the room. I will if I have to, but I would prefer not to, just because I guess I'm not really afraid of the dark. I'm just afraid of what's in the dark, if you know what I mean. The other thing that is pretty silly, because we don't live near any oceans or big bodies of water, but I'm afraid of sharks. Ever since I saw Jaws, I guess. The funny thing is I love Shark Week, and I love watching any shark movie. I know that's a little bizarre, but I do. I mean, I love watching them, even though they scare the crap out of me. Along with the shark thing, I don't like swimming in the oceans or the other body of water except for swimming pools. I would rather not. I mean, I will if I have to. Like when I went to the Philippines with Jay and I got engaged there, I swam in the water in the ocean. I was scared. It was fun. It took me out of my comfort zone quite a bit. But if it's in the shallow, I don't really mind it that much, even though I heard sharks are like more in the shallows. I don't know. I know that they're by coral and stuff, which we were by, which freaked me out. That's why I was always like in a canoe or on the boat, because I felt safer there. And then I don't really like to be, excuse you. I don't really like going under the water either, or like snorkeling or scuba diving. I've gone snorkeling before and it was fun. I don't think I'd ever scuba dive just because I would be afraid that a shark would come up and eat me. Silly thing, but it happens. In high school, along with the other stuff that I had to deal with in high school, and also in middle school, I had pretty bad acne. My skin has actually just in the last couple of years cleared up quite a bit, and I have to thank my mom and Jay for this, because they said simplify your skin routine. Don't use so many products on it. Just use a cleanser and a moisturizer. I wasn't doing that before. I was using all these different products on it, just switching it up all the time. And the thing is, if you just stick to one thing for quite a while, like for a couple of months, and it doesn't work for your skin, just wait a little bit longer. Just try it out. Because it takes a while for your skin to actually take in the product. I had really sensitive skin too. Still do. My skin gets really dry, which is weird because I used to have really oily skin, and I'm sure it was because of all the products that I was using. It was throwing it out of whack. And so now I'm just using, like I showed you in my skin routine and the Get Ready With Me, using Cetaphil and Cetaphil moisturizer. Both. It's working really well for my skin. I don't get any new breakouts. Right. Next thing that is really silly is when I was younger, I was obsessed with Lizzie McGuire. I had Lizzie McGuire pajamas, tops, hats. I also had, like, I'll insert pictures of how embarrassing it was. I had like a board game, magazines, the Lizzie McGuire doll, the Lizzie McGuire hey now, charm, like, you know, the charm bracelets that everybody had in the 90s and early 2000s. Yeah, I got that charm. It's expensive, but yeah. And then I had probably binge watched every single episode and reruns of it. That's all I would watch on Disney Channel. And I still, to this day, I still watch the Lizzie McGuire movie all the time just because, I mean, nostalgia. Anyways, yeah, that was, Lizzie McGuire was my childhood. Go along with when I was little, I also really wanted to be a fashion designer. I mean, like I think I wanted to be a fashion designer until, I would still love to be a fashion designer. I mean, who wouldn't? But it's a hard industry, especially where I live. There's no fashion designing places here. My cousin that lives in Wisconsin, she teaches there, and they have a really awesome fashion designing program that I was actually going to apply for, but I didn't, just because, I mean, I didn't really know much about fashion designing. I didn't really do much research. I did take a fashion designing class in high school and I loved it. I just would have loved that, but it didn't happen for me. I actually have lots of notebooks filled with drawings of fashion and clothing, and I also have I had this kit that I got. You gonna talk? Because mommy's talking? You done? I actually got this kit from, I don't even know, I think it was probably like Toys R Us or something, and it had like these little scrap pieces that you could cut out and trace like the shapes of clothing items, and you could add like hangers and little beads to it. I was so into fashion. It was crazy. I still love fashion to this day, but when I was little, I thought I was gonna be a fashion designer. Embarrassing thing about me is I am a fragrance hoarder. Like, I have lotions and perfumes from like when I was, I don't even know. And I cannot get myself to get rid of like the lotions and the perfumes. Like, I'm just like, oh, I'll use this one day. Oh, this smells really good. I'll use this one day. No, I probably won't. It's just gonna be sitting in the cupboard. I'll also insert pictures of that because you guys probably have no idea. Like, you probably don't believe me. Like, you think that you have a lot of lotions and stuff? You're in for a treat. Video about this, all the things that go along with breastfeeding, but ever since I was young, I've had like the biggest and fastest metabolism. Like, I could out eat, and when I was like in middle school, it's funny, my mom will tell and remind me of this story all the time, saying, I still cannot believe that you like double the amount of your friend's dad. See, I was probably like, and I could outbeat and out-eat a grown man to this day, like every hour on the dot, or maybe even sooner than that. I will be hungry. I like to work out. Otherwise, people would probably have to roll me down, or they'd have to, I'd be on like that 1-ton woman show on TLC. It'd be number 15 and the last final thing about me is, and Jay can speak for me on this for sure, I could watch YouTube videos for days. Like, I could just be locked up in with the TV on and just watch YouTube videos for days. There are just so many videos out there that I just love. My latest obsession with watching things is watching like the review videos on the Wish app or Shein or Romwe, which I did buy some Romwe items. Do a little tiny haul on that. Maybe insert like it into another video because I only bought 3 shirts and a bandana from them, and I guess we'll find out if those items are worth it, and I will let you guys know that. But anyways, there are 15 facts and 15 weird facts about me. For watching. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.